My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. Your mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. What's good? We made it to lesson 8 of A Course in Miracles. What a great time to be alive right here and right now. Now, this is a powerful lesson, so prepare yourself. I'm pretty sure you've been blown away by the previous 7, but 8 is just like, it gets better every time. And every single time you hear this new knowledge and said in a new way, it is going to be like, wow, I have been doing it wrong my whole life. I have been sleeping my whole life. But it's okay because that's the past. And remember, my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. Right now in this moment is the only time that is the only time that there will ever be, is now. So let's go ahead and break down lesson 8. Like usual, we're going to read lesson 8 together. So pull out your book. You already know what to do. You know where to turn the page to. If you don't got the book yet, the PDF, like usual, is in the description. Go ahead and pull that up, download it, and we're going to read this sauce right here, this knowledge, this wisdom, this truth, and we are going to be reminded of who and what we really are and who and what our family and friends and even our enemies really are, and see the world as it truly is. And let's begin. Lesson 8. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This idea is, of course, the reason why you see only the past. No one really sees anything. He sees only his thoughts projected outward. The mind's preoccupation with the past is the cause of the misconception about time from which your seeing suffers. Your mind cannot grasp the present, which is the only time there is. It therefore cannot understand time and cannot, in fact, understand anything. The one wholly true thought one can hold about the past is that it is not here. To think about it at all is therefore to think about illusions. Very few have realized what is actually entailed in picturing the past or in anticipating the future. The mind is actually blank when it does this, because it is not really thinking about anything. The purpose of the exercises for today is to begin to train your mind to recognize when it is not really thinking at all. While thoughtless ideas preoccupy your mind, the truth is blocked. Recognizing that your mind has been merely blank, rather than believing that it is filled with real ideas, is the first step to opening the way to vision. Wow, this is just, well, wow. The exercises for today should be done with eyes closed. This is because you actually cannot see anything, and it is easier to recognize that no matter how vividly you may picture a thought, you are not seeing anything. With as little investment as possible, search your mind for the usual minute or so, merely noting the thoughts you find there. Name each one by the central figure or theme it contains and pass on to the next. Introduce the practice period by saying, I seem to be thinking about blank. Now, for a minute, we're going to continue reading, but we're actually going to begin our lesson together right now. So close your eyes if you can. If not, look around you, search your mind a little bit, and we're going to give some examples together. I'm going to, like usual, say some random examples that I have seen in my life or others close to me, and I want you to replace what I say with what you have seen in your own life, okay? So, I seem to be thinking about Maya. I seem to be thinking about going to the gym. I seem to be thinking about making music. I seem to be thinking about etc., etc. Okay, now open your eyes. Then name each of your thoughts specifically. for example. Now we're going to say some more examples that the lesson gives us. I seem to be thinking about name of a person. I seem to be thinking about name of an object. I seem to be thinking about name of an emotion, and so on, concluding at the end of the mind searching period with, but my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This can be done 4 or 5 times during the day unless you find it irritates you. If you find it trying 3 or 4 times is sufficient. You might find it helpful, however, to include your irritation or any emotion that the idea for today may induce in the mind searching itself. All right, so let's go ahead and break this down, what we just read. This is very powerful stuff right here. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. We're going to do a few more examples, okay? My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I seem to be thinking about this desk. I seem to be thinking about my dog. I seem to be thinking about feeling angry. But my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. This is powerful because in the lessons moving forward, it will all start to click in. So like I said, it's not going to be, you're going to be like, why am I saying this? Like, what's the purpose of me saying this? I was the same way, and the purpose of you repeating these thoughts 4 or 5 times a day, which says that should be sufficient enough. The reason why we're doing this repetition is because we're understanding that we really don't understand anything at all. We have been giving everything our own meaning, and most of the time it's fearful because we grew up in a fearful world, and others who fell asleep to who they really are, and therefore that's just the way that we perceive, and we think it's natural, but it's really not. It's really the most unnatural thing ever, because love is natural, and seeing love everywhere and everyone and everything is what really is. It is you seeing truth. It is you being woke. It is me being enlightened. It is both of us being here together in the real world. But what we see with ourselves from time to time, or most of this people living on this planet, we see that we get little glimpses of enlightenment. We get little glimpses of being happy and joyous for an instant, and then we fall back into the past. But the past is not there. You're seeing something that is not there. This state of enlightenment, how I say every single time, is something that you can experience 24/7 nonstop on autopilot, because this is natural. This state of wokeness is what is. Everything else is simply a hallucination. It's not really there. Anything, fear, worry, doubt, all of that is a way of perceiving falsely. Because remember, we're going to use God, okay? God is love, light, omnipresent, eternal, infinite, creation, all these amazing attributes. And notice how you didn't find fear anywhere in there. You didn't find worry, doubtful, judgmental, none of that stuff. That is just concepts that we have given something that we can't understand with our level of understanding with this mind we have. But knowing that that is who our source is and our creator, and me and you are here together, and we are extensions, pure extensions and reflections of that, then we know that we share those attributes as well, because you cannot create something that is unlike itself. Meaning, if I give birth in this physical world, all right, not give birth, but let's just say my woman gets pregnant and she has a child, it's going to be a human, because we cannot create unlike ourselves. So while we're here in this world, we are human. We have these bodies and we create like ourselves. Same thing on an even higher level though. Everything that God is, you are, because he created like himself. You can't create something that is unlike yourself, because that is just not the way things work. Everything is love and light, and whenever you're not perceiving that in any moment in time, it is because we have done something with this tool of ours that most of us are unaware that we have. So we're miscreating. We're not really miscreating. That's too strong of a word, because we can't create something that is not already there, which is fear and worry and doubt. We can't create that, but we can believe that we made it, is a better word. We can believe that it's there and therefore it's true to us, but really it's not true at all. But a belief, let's break down a belief, okay? A belief is a thought that you continue to think. And whenever you continue to think a thought like, I am not good enough, I do not have enough, I will never have enough, that's very weak. If you've never thought that before, you know that that is false. But if you grow up hearing that from around you, or even not even hearing it physical words, but you could see people around you who are implying that they're not enough through their body language and they don't believe that they're enough, you're going to pick up and adopt that belief, and now you're going to believe that you're not enough. And remember, a belief is just a thought you continue to think. We think these fearful thoughts so much that we believe they're real, and now because we believe they're real, that's exactly what we're perceiving outside of us, when it's not really there to begin with. Because we cannot say this enough, the only thing that there is love. Anything that is not love is not there, is not truth. That's such a good thing to know, because when we know that, that means that anything that, or anybody in this world that we perceive without love and light, means that we're not perceiving at all. We're not thinking at all. We're simply asleep. We're not seeing this person who is in front of us in this moment for who they truly are. And because we can't see them for who they truly are, we can't see ourselves for who we truly are. Therefore, we are asleep in that moment. No need to panic, no need to worry, but being aware is the most important thing of all, because whenever you're aware that you're asleep in that moment, you can wake up and return to your natural state of being. And the more you practice and practice and practice this way of thinking, which is what we're doing right now with all this repetition and all these lessons together, this is going to become a new belief. And this doesn't even need to be believed, because it is what is. But because we have learned so much stuff that is so completely opposite from what we're talking about right now, we have to do repetition of what is truth, so that way we can remove all of the blocks that are blocking us from perceiving truth and the light that is within us right here, right now. How amazing is that? I think that's pretty amazing. And I know you do too, if you are in your right mind, which I genuinely believe you are, if you've made it to lesson 8. So let's go ahead and conclude right there. Make sure to do about 3 or 4 practice periods today and really give it some intention. Think about what you seem to be thinking about, and understand that you are only seeing the past, because our minds are preoccupied with past thoughts. And this is just something so special to what's coming next. It will all begin to click into place. But for now, as always, may you never be the same. Stay woke today. And if you feel like you fall asleep and you need a little guidance to back you up and reawaken you to who you really are, I am always here. You know where to find me. And until then, I will see you tomorrow for lesson 9.